Hello and welcome back to Queen's Wish 2. This time we will go to the Hraxamus ruins. But before we do that, we will go to the Tower of the Rudico. But before we do that, we will have a look into the runes. So I just checked how the system was working again. And yeah, it's a bit complicated. Well, not complicated, but it's you don't really have any overview. So the you have augments which can be put into all armor, and armor is like everything except of the main hand weapon, and I'm not sure about the bow because I don't have any bow with runes, and I don't have any rings or bracelets or gloves or whatever with slots, so I can't say much about these. The runes can be put into weapons and helmets, meaning that the helmet is actually the most versatile item because you can put both things in there. You can buy a lot of stuff, but the items I found cannot be bought. So these are kind of unique things. Yeah, and I checked what can be put where. And yeah, I'm not going to buy tons of runes now. Also, maybe I want to increase or decrease the costs first. But regarding the items I've got here, so with the rings, I don't have any rings which have additional. This is not a ring, right? So these three are the rings. And I don't have any rings which have any slots, so you can compare them straightforward. Now with the mental resist, because I already have mental resist maxed due to this skill, or more or less maxed, right? I've got mental resist 80%, and passive ability always active. Each point provides 30% resistance to mental attacks and stunning. And level 2 increases resistance by 50%. So I guess that's each point. It makes no sense, but apparently it's 80% in total, right? And they are stacking. Everything seems to stack. So this is not using... I guess speed is not stacking. I'm not quite sure, but I think speed is not stacking while everything else is. So even the physical evasion, which was kind of surprising, so you can just add 20% of physical evasion and you end up at 65%. I'm not sure what exactly is adding physical evasion though, because this plate armor, for example, is adding 5% of physical evasion, but it's not listed anywhere. Yeah, so no idea. But this means that the mental resist and the maximum is 90%. So the mental resist is not really that useful. Ensnaring vines. I mean, this one is very good. This one is very good. This one is kind of crappy. And this one is great. But nothing of that is really... I would really use. And I'm not sure what outgassing was. I think I checked that one before, but I already forgot again. So I will just keep it for now. But let's put it away. This one I don't think I will ever use. And the ensnaring vines thing... I'm also not sure if that's super useful. That's actually an active skill, so we can just test that maybe. But I think that's a spell which actually costs to cast, so that's probably something I wouldn't want to do. And anyway, this one can be sold. Then we have mental resist. This has just 2 slots. This has 2 slots. He has this thing, and both of them can be replaced via runes or via other stuff, right? So that means that everything with just 2 slots can potentially be better than that. Now, he already got a sun resist 85%, mental resist 90%. So both of the things which have 2 slots are actually kind of useless for him. I mean, this has just 2 slots, and this one is 20% mental resist and 25% stun resist. Not really great. And then we've got 10% physical evasion. So I would use the physical evasion then on maybe this character. I'm not sure what shield ally was, but there's also 1 slot. Or maybe we put it here, the row endures. Yeah, let's put it there. Then he gets the row endures, and then we will just sell this item. I mean, this is not really a huge improvement, but at least we can get rid of some items. So these 2 I will sell, actually. These 3 I will sell. Alright. I want to sell something. So that way we already got rid of a couple of items. Now regarding the runes, I checked what is available, what's the good stuff, bad stuff, and so on. And yes, with the 5 damage to the undead, I mean, we can in theory just install that to some item because we already have it. And we can, later on, we can just remove it again. So let me get over there. This one is mental resist. This is a rune. The battle magic is only really useful for him, I guess. I mean, it can be useful for everyone, but he can really profit from that. And we will use 1 in the wand and 1 in the hood. And with items which give like I don't think I got any, like 15% mental resist or something, they actually, you can't use 2 of the same runes. Like if you have let's say 10% mental resist, you cannot put 2 runes with that same thing into the same item. However, you can put 2 into the same item if they have different values. Like one item is 10% and one is 15%, then again it will work. So if we cannot put both into the helmet, but if one was 2 battle magic, we could put that into the helmet. So mental resist, this is also kind of useless then, because everyone is already kind of maxed out. I think one guy had... this is 80%. So yeah, we could put it somewhere. In, like, in the shield or something. Alright. Install augments and runes. But it's really hard to keep... yeah, to keep an eye on things. And we can probably put much better items in here, like I think there's a speed bonus, which we could in theory put into every piece of armor. So for now I will do it that way. And install augments. And he will get this. I mean, these are great. I will keep them that way. Now he has a very good chance that was battle magic, battle heal thing, and now you've got the +2 here. And he has a very high chance that heals and blesses are completely free. That's awesome. And yeah, but you can only have 2 of these, so that's also their way to make sure that it's not completely overpowered. But with the other runes, I will check later once. I'm not quite sure if we really got all the runes we can get. This one is... that was incorrect. Augments. Like... yeah. In theory we got everything here, but I'm still missing one apothecary. And for the runes, one is missing, but that seems odd. So maybe there is just something which is not displayed yet, which would be weird, but still. So either way, I will just keep it that way. I will not buy anything just yet. We are so early in the game, right? No, but we will, yeah, keep it that way. White Crypts, this is Quicksilver Looters. We should probably go there soon, get that, and then we can also buy the last apothecary and check. And just buy all the rest. I'm not sure if there's anything else we can do for Quicksilver. I mean, we have... I was... last time I was where? Yeah, this is Fort Meadow, and I did build the mill and the bakery here. So the distillery is still missing because that's also using Quicksilver. The distillery is nowhere so far. So yeah, we need to go back everywhere once we have the Quicksilver, if we should ever be able to get that, which might not be possible. But we'll see. Alright, so now let's go to the actually, there was one other thing. We had this guy on the top level, right? When he was interested in books or something. Oh, there's another thing. You notice that Chief Cestus is holding court in the audience hall. Alright. Gelnas assassin. Alright. You find Chief Cestus and a young skinny man of the row staring at each other. The man is wearing furs and a belt, and an empty sheath hangs from his belt. He is chained to the post, and his face is completely without expression. Chief Cestus turns to look at you. You can see the frustration on her face. Examine the prisoner. It takes no time to recognize this man is a trained killer. His stance, his cold expression, his calloused hands. He is a dangerous foe. Chief Cestus, who is this? He is an assassin. He won't say his name. He was captured by our soldiers in the High Letha city of Et Salam. One of our mages paralyzed him before he could escape or kill himself. We catch a row assassin sometimes. He was bound and brought here to be dealt with the usual way. The assassin quietly stares straight ahead. The usual way? What do you mean? Well, he's probably an assassin. The row pay assassins to kill each other frequently. It's their characteristic, bloody efficient way to deal with political and business disputes. It is recognized as an integral part of the row politics. Thus, Haven treads lightly. When they get caught, they are brought here for standard processing. A Raza has been killed. I want to know who is responsible. I can't tell you, I swear it. The Gelnas are split up into many small bands. None of us know what jobs the others are taking. I don't know who would kill a Raza, if it even was the Gelnas. Perhaps we are not responsible. Any words about this charge, assassin? What happened exactly? Cestus picks up a dirty scrap of paper and inspects it with disgust. A typically incomplete report from the High Letha. This fellow was sneaking into some merchant's home in the middle of the night. One of our patrols saw him by dumb luck. Pretty careless of him, really. The assassin shrugs. Anyway, they subdued him, found some daggers, some poison, a wire for strangling, so he's Gelnas. 2 weeks later, he's dumped in our lab, waiting to be let free for payment. Assassin, are you guilty of this? The assassin says in a resigned voice, yes, I had been hired to do my work. I was careless and I will be punished. It's not our place to do it, though. Your place to do it, though. You must let me free so that I can answer to the Gelnas. The Gelnas? Cestus says, the Rokai Assassins Guild. The ones who have been slaying Razas, who are the only ones permitted to kill for money in this odd land. Your orders are clear. Don't interfere with Gelnas. We don't bother them, they don't bother us. Let free for payment? That's the way. We let them go. Soon the Gelnas send us bribes, supplies, money, that kind of thing. Sort of nice arrangement, really. And allowed by Haven's leaders since Great Uprising. It's not something I like, especially if the Gelnas are idiots. I should be like the one in power, and I mean, I am their protector and whatnot, so I should have all the competence, the power in my hands, and I don't see that. Even if it's not the like everyone is equal and whatnot, they should not have this this option. Chief Cestus, have anything to say about this? Not really, honestly. I was about to let the fellow go when you walked in. No. Chief Cestus looks nervous. Of course, Prince. I would only humbly ask that our old procedures be considered. The assassin stares straight ahead, still creepily emotionless. Assassins are not tolerated in my lands. Execution! Assassins are not tolerated in my lands, so flogging. I will respect the local traditions. Let the assassin go. If taking a bribe is the way the situation is usually resolved, who am I to say no? I don't tolerate this. Execution. The assassin turns to you. The Geldnas will hear of this. We will not forget this insult. Our tolerance for Haven's presence will end. Then he turns and is led quietly to his fate. Cestus looks ill. That is all, Cestus? It seems Haven has developed some unusual practices in the Rokai. As the assassin is taken away, Chief Cestus says, all the cells are unique. Each requires its own adjustments. The Rokai more than most. Thank you for your precious time. Alright. One killer less. Then we will go to the Tower of the Erudico. I mean, I could have decided for flogging, but to me this makes no sense to let him go away, especially if they were disrupting the order I am going to restore here. They are basically just working against me. And killing for money is not great either way, so yeah. I should go exit from the north side. Actually, we might just have an additional... No, not anymore. Alright. Ah, but but I wanted to go to the top level to talk to this guy who's collecting books or something. No. Over here, I think. Yes. I have hunted for your books. Sage Harlan's eyes gleam with greed. I am so glad you remembered my humble request. What did you find? I found a book called Erudico Sky Signs. Give it to him. Harlan takes the book, dusts it off, and flips through it eagerly. This is a work of astronomy. The High Letha has the most enviable views of the sky, and they have detected stars and patterns we may not know of yet. Intriguing. Thank you so much, Prince. I will see that this is copied and placed in the libraries of Haven. I found a book called Beasts of the Groves. Harlan takes the book, dusts it off, and flips through it eagerly. This lists the magic monstrosities observed around the groves of the Kranas. Some of these creatures are common manifestations, but others are rare or unknown, extremely intriguing. Thank you so much, Prince. I will see that this is copied and placed in the libraries of Haven. Found a book called Layers of Stone. Harlan takes the book, dusts it off, and flips through it eagerly. Interesting. The Lodagans have spent many years studying the exposed strata of their hills. They have some truly remarkable theories about what the actual age of the hills is. What an amusing thing to study. Thank you so much, Prince. I will see that this is copied and placed in the libraries of Haven. I don't have any books to give you right now. Completely understandable. I am honored that you thought my request even worthy of your notice. Need any help? Okay. And we got some XP. We are very close to the level up, which is nice, so that we will probably get that while we are in the next dungeon. Thank you for your help. Alright. Ah, and to the north. Alright. Let me pass! Alright. So let's visit the Erudico. Ah yeah, and this guy had the snaring. I actually wanted to test. No, I actually gave it to him. Mental resist 90%, and without that, he was already at 90%, right? Yeah. So that's not great, but he can get the speed bonus. Unless she's also at 90% already. Meh. Yeah, this wasn't great. Magical armor. Yeah, or let's just use the outgassing, even though I have no idea what that was doing. And let's see what we can buy over here. We have tons of resources, I think, since we went here the last time. Well, maybe not, but let's see. Yeah, well, we have lots of stuff, except this, whatever that resource is. Clarity Brew. Alright. Gives your characters a 2% chance of evade attacks. That's just passive thing. I don't see why we shouldn't buy that. Okay. Then 8 to infliction. Gives that 2% bonus to all status effects caused by the character, positive and negative. Doesn't sound great. These all use the... Yeah, right. Yeah, we should, if we have the option to buy that stuff somewhere, we should do that. We can't really do anything otherwise. Researcher. Yeah, I'm not sure if there was any... Ah, okay. I found Druid Antwheel. Tell the tale. Now we already got the level up. Erud Faalis hoped for good news. His face falls as you tell the tale. He shakes his head when he learns that the Geldnas have the plans. At least Artuil lived. Her only hope for survival now is to end this dispute. I doubt the Geldnas will bother her once the plans are in Erudico hands. Fortunately, the struggle is not over. The assassins can still be kept from having the Harvester. You see, right now they can't use the plans. Yeah. As I mentioned, they are working against me. Druid Artuil mentioned the Worm's Teeth. Then that is an interesting bit of information. The Worm's Teeth are in the Low Darga. Something valuable is there. I think I know what it is. An assassin named Vionel took the plans. Then we know who we will get our revenge on someday. Don't worry, the Geldnas are not the only power in the row. They really have our powers and our tricks. The row will only tolerate the Geldnas bullying us for so long. Why can't they use the plans? They are flawed. When we made in the new copy, we introduced errors. The Geldnas can't use them. We should discuss this more. I have another question. I would like to recover the Harvester. As would we. We are the Rudico. The weapons we create should always be under our control until we decide who should best have them. Yeah, like me. They should also not have them. It was bad luck that you didn't get to Altwil in time. Fortunately, we have a chance to stop the assassins. Erudico made the copy of the Harvester plans and they were wise enough to coat them with the keystone. To get the secret of the Harvester back, you should go recover the keystone. It is held in an Erud named Ardont. What is the keystone? It's a code. The plans for the Harvester are wrong. Anyone who uses the Harvester plans will make a weapon that kills the user. The keystone explains how to crack the plans. We need to get it back. You gave Arthur plans to make a device that would always kill the user? Of course, it is better than just giving her the correct plans for the Geldnast to find. It is the way of the Rudico. Can't we just let Vionel make the Harvester and kill herself? That would be nice, but it probably wouldn't happen. Vionel probably guessed that we made a keystone for the flawed plans. She will not act until she searches for a keystone. That is why you need to get it first. Tell me about Ardont. Erud Ardont is an old and valued Erudico. His research has never been exceptional, but he is a brave defender of our ways. And that is why he risks the anger of the Gelnas to protect our secrets. Where can I find Ardont? There is a bit of luck there. Artwil told you about the Worm's Teeth. That is a mountain in the Lodaga, not shot through with tunnels. The Erudico do a lot of research there. That is where you should begin your search. If you have trouble finding him, perhaps Artwil had more information back at her home. Another question. Alright. Level up. So yeah, that means that we also need to go back into Som 4. Erud Gulsim. No. I wanted to check if we can buy anything somewhere. That we handed in the quest was just a happy little accident. Yeah. There is nothing. Maybe there was one guy further upstairs. Food, drink. Drink, no. Okay. I researched the top of the deep towers. Tell the tale. Erud Alsov is truly fascinated. That is quite a story. I've lived for a long time, but I've never heard anything quite like it. If we are ever able to reclaim the deep towers, we will have a bit of work to do. I want to give you a token of gratitude. I don't have much use for this anymore. He gives you a pair of gloves. Cozy mittens. I don't travel anymore, so I don't need them. The Erudico thanks you. He also gives you a few scrolls. What do you owe us? What resources can you provide? Do you have any more information to trade? I'm afraid not. As I have said, the Erudico is a small and withered thing now. I'm honored that we are at least worth your notice. What do you owe us? What resources can you provide? Erudico are withered, most of us... okay. Crafts. Then there's one area where we might actually offer you something. Talk to Erud Sakura in the main crafting hall. Knowledge. So in the low chambers as well. Okay. Relevant law, +1. Bota. I found the ingredients requested. Okay, I completely forgot that. Ochre and sap. Erud Bota inspects the ingredients. You have done well for us. This is what we needed for our ink. I will not ask any questions about how it was obtained. All of this will be examined in time. She gives you a leather satchel of scrolls. There's a collection of our latest research. If or when you use our crafting pedestal downstairs, you may find them useful. Leather satchel of scrolls. Okay. Have you decided what you do with the ink you make? It is used for private and remote ceremonies. I am sure that they will be of no interest to you. Why was it so important to you that I come? Because we see many things from our tower. We see that hard times are coming to this land. Hard times ahead? The raids, the assassinations, attempted and successful, the decay, war is coming. None of us want to say it, but I'm sworn to the truth above all things. War is bad for the Radico. What can you do for me? I have valuable works. You wouldn't find it useful to own them. I don't want to give them up, but sometimes it is necessary. Tell me about your library. Do you have any works I'd be interested in? Probably not. Yeah, I think we had everything here. Relevant lore. Yeah, and this is what we can use downstairs, but without any other items, there's nothing we can do. So that's it in that regard. Or was there anything here? I don't think so. This one... yeah, now we are outside again. This looks a bit silly now with these green thingies. But anyways. Alright, let's exit to the north. So not much we could do here, unfortunately. Maybe I should revisit some cities and check if they can... we can buy some of these resources. Yeah, we don't need anything from them. Fort Hailstone, let me have a quick look. Hailstone. They're still missing the bakery and stuff, so let's quickly go there. Stall, mill and bakery. Mill and bakery. What was it? All store prices by 3%. Okay. And what was this doing? No idea. Alright. And of course we should do the level up. And again, I've not really any idea what to train here. I mean, this is always nice with the additional energy. This gives just a bonus to speed, which is also easy to reach. So let's go there. Yeah. This is the haste. Yeah, I will just keep it that way, and actually this first one, this is also just one, and no, let's use the heal thing, which is not really fantastic, but all right. And the next one, yeah, same thing here. I mean, the alternative is going for the energy. This actually does make more sense in the short term. We can still swap it next level up. I think that's also what I did before. 1 point. he already has the row endures, gives a 50% point chance each turn of freeing allies within 4 spaces of mental effects and curses. Yeah, this is probably... Well, let's just put 1 point in there. I mean, we can't really put it into anything other, which is kind of useful. Now this is also like this mental effect thing, which we probably don't need anymore because we are kind of immune. So what we can do is getting this level 3 stuff here. That way he can use the best items as well. This is both pointless. Always increase your maximum energy by 1 per 5. Oh, okay. Yeah, okay, now that was the explanation why she had so much more energy than he had. But that's nice, so that he can also use that thing, for example. And we can replace the wand next time. Ah, he actually still has this ring, I thought. Okay. Nah, maybe... I'm using this again, and I will keep... like, put this outgassing thing away again. Alright, now what can she take? Yeah, obviously the 10% speed would be something. But this is also something which might be interesting for these guys. Silences. This is a new ability, new ability, new ability. It's also... I mean, she can just clear all poison with that. I think there's no limitation on that anyways. Yeah. I mean, doubles curing, but it's great with that anyways. Alright. So, let's go to Hraxamus. Already spent quite a lot of time on the other stuff. There's an honor guard of ghosts waiting by the path. They were Rokai warriors from all over the land, dead for at least a century, and they watch as you approach Hraxamus. When they see who you are, they let out a cacophony of angry, incoherent screeches. For the first time in decades, they try to leave their posts, following over the tundra toward you. They are too old and fragile, and the effect is too much. They fall apart before they get to you. Alright. You meet another honor guard of the Rokai ghosts. Again, they recognize you. Again, they hate you. However, they don't attack. Instead, they withdraw. They rise into the air and float into the rock, heading into the ruined tower of Hraxamus. Yeah, there were these... this was this arena. You approach the lower tower of Hraxamus. This was once a mighty stone fortress of the Rokai. When it was shattered by an enormous force, probably delivered by Haven, it has been abandoned for a century. At least it's been abandoned by the living. The moment you set foot into the outer wall, you hear whispering, quiet at first, full of rage, then slowly louder. Your arrival has awakened something here, something that really, really doesn't like you. Well then, show yourselves! The sign says, Hraxamus, these ruins are fate of all who oppose Haven. Okay. So far, it's all good. And this is the path through. Now that both gates are open, you have revealed a new hidden path between the High Letha and the Kordanor's woods. Smugglers and raiders are sure to be grateful for your efforts. Opening gates between provinces make traveling using the world map slightly faster. Oh, interesting. You enter the lower tower. It is an icy cold ruin. Nobody has been here for years. Nobody living anyway. There are bones and torn bits of armor everywhere. You see dented helmets and slivers of shattered weapons. All of the torn clothing and broken blades are of the Ro style. Haven delivered the Rokai a devastating defeat here. When you enter the tower, the whispering suddenly ceases. The ghosts are still around, all around you, but now they are watching, waiting. You don't have the key. Okay. Feels like we are going to get backstabbed. Vengeful spirit. Well, maybe we don't get backstabbed and just... Well, it would surprise me if we didn't have to fight that one. Alright, at last you have found the ghosts. Well, we didn't search for too long. They line the benches to either side, watching you as you enter. They are the dead rebels of the Rokai fading away here for a century. They are too weak and faded to do any harm. There's one shade here that retains some of the power he had in life. He stands behind the pile of skulls. There's another shade behind him, wearing robes and a hood. It whispers something to him and then fades away. The Lethan ghost points its spectral scourge at you. Haven has returned. At last we can have our revenge. And who were you exactly? We are the dead of the Great Uprising. We fought against you once. You laid siege to Hraxamus and destroyed it, and us. Now we can fight again, at last. Did you know that I'm a prince? The shades quiver and whisper to each other. This news is very exciting. Truly, this will be a glorious revenge. I do not wish to fight you. We did not wish to fight you. We only wanted our freedom. You brought a fight to us. Now we return it to you. He picks up the horn behind him and surprisingly is able to blow it. As the echo of its call fades, you hear other sounds. Listen. The tower is now alive with scraping and moaning. All of the bones you passed on the way in are coming together and rising. The army of the dead has trapped you in the tower. It is time to lay them to their final rest. Okay. And we will start with you. Okay. Oh. Sapphire skeleton. Okay. Not super durable. Die. Healing, okay. So we should focus fire. Yeah, that's fine. New one. We can use that. And they are now stuck in the door. Now we will just keep this one pretty much dead now, because he's not, yeah, doing, well, he will, either one of them is dying now anyways, okay. Nah, but they are super easy. Yeah, we'll just wait for the next one and kill him right away. Okay, wait. Next. Next. I think that's it already. There's nothing red left. A treasure. A radiant helm. Okay, +1 to shockwave. Clarity bro. Okay, we need that. Ah yeah, and we got these rewards before, which I should check out. Gold, this is just money. Alright, Scroll of Mercy. So, Radiant Helm, level 3 armor. This is the same, alright. Yeah, 8, 4, 5. It's basically the same, just that it has shockwave. And I have no idea what shockwave is. This is a stunning wave, which I wanted to test at some point. So, what is shockwave? Is it this, Ah, yeah, okay. That's interesting. So that's a ranged AoE attack. I mean, that totally makes sense to use that, but the augments are not in. So I will need to exchange one of... Ah, actually this one is not augmented anyways. Okay. Let's exchange that one. This one can then be sold. Okay. Then we had this Mother's Mittens. Physical evasion, mental resist. 2-2. Stun resist. I'm not sure. He probably already has 90%, right? Stun resist 90%. How much does he have if he... Yeah, this is like giving the last possible 5%, so that's not too bad. Physical, mental. Magical damage, physical, and 8% speed, that's good. Magical evasion. Okay. Physical evasion. The physical evasion we can use over here. And this was the stunning wave. The speed bonus, I think she profits from that. And we can use that here. But then we are not... Physical evasion. And mental resist. This is also both. Yeah, let's use that here. And this one. Yeah, I'm already running out of space again. This goes here. I think that's the worst one. Now you also got this shockwave thing. He doesn't anymore. Yeah, this has the speed bonus. Speed is always nice to have. Ouch. Alright. Next. Oh, the next one is not triggered yet. They got spears. Yeah, let them run. And toast. Alright. Ah, there's another one. So I have two stairs upstairs. Stairs upstairs. Oh, that's how it is. Oop. Oh. Oh, again? Yeah, I mean, I was stacking all the speed on her, so it seems to pay off now. More skeletons! Nah, this was out of range. Yeah, of course. Ouch! Yeah, not a problem though. We have too much mana anyways, so it's all fine. Okay. This one is still... No, this is open. Spectre. Yeah, I think they are quite overpowered here. Bolt Silk. Elixir Stone Ring. Maximum energy +3. That's quite something. So, yeah, that's definitely better than this 10% healing. So we need to sell this. And take that one. Alright. This is just a random dagger. So for selling. Yeah, I really want my trash back from the Avernum games. That makes it much easier. You can sort the items you want to sell. You can sort them out right away. The stairway ends an impassable pile of rubble. Okay. It's not going upstairs. Oh, that's it already? And there are also some more. Okay. Evaded. They are doing magical damage, so they will not get through on the mages actually, because they have the magical protection. They are not doing anything against anyone. Oh, let's leave. That was a bit easy. Okay. Again, we can heal a bit as we get some of the mana back. Alright. Oh, to the west you see a final ghost. It was a roped shade that whispered to the Lethan ghost that attacked you. When you enter the hall, it points at you. In life, I was a hero of the Rukai. I was one of those who set the great uprising ablaze. When you die in our halls, I will inspire my people to rebellion once again. You have made your final mistake. As it speaks, more skeletons reform on the other side of the gates. Okay. Maybe I will just kill the skeletons first then. Hello. Hunter Shade. I like to avoid pulling them as well. Okay, this is it's nastier. Okay. Bleeding. I mean, she can also heal, but let's wait with that. Doing much. Do anything? Nah. Alright. And... oh, we can shoot through that. Mm-hmm. Lost Mastermind. Not too impressive. Your blows easily tear apart the ghostly rebel. It doesn't even have time to make another deluded speech. It just sort of falls apart. The power animating its guards leaks away. The bones fall apart. The whispering finally ceases. At last, the rebels here can rest. Failures forever. Okay, maybe I should... maybe that was unnecessary to kill them all, but... well, now they're dead. Alright. Mm-hmm. Alright, now we're here back at this arena. And... Dead of the Uprising. Where was this quest from? Yeah. Hyletha. Mistar Kilaros, a powerful sage of the Uruk-hai. Glorious soul of the Mistalkers in Jaja Jim. Alright, so we need to get back to that area. That's fine. We need to... I'm not... yeah, there we need to go to the Lorrocan ruins anyways. So, yeah. So next up we... well, we can just do this arena fight here, I guess. Let's test that. Where was this arena master guy? I think there was still fights left, right? Ah, yeah, it was in here. Pitmaster Greenwich! I want another fight. Looks annoyed. You squander the power of your empire on our little arena. You rob us of all our prey. Still, you are the prince, and arrogance is your right. Enter the arena if you wish. That is all. Alright. I don't remember anymore what was the next battle. The warriors gather at the gates. Everyone outside rushes indoors to see the spectacle. They watch you analytically, eager to see the battle technique of the Prince of Haven. There is a long hush. Then one of the gates opens and your opponents rush into the arena. I think they were just stunning me before I could do anything. Alright. Yeah, I kind of remember. In this case, they stunned their own. Alright, alright, alright. I'm still alive. Alright. Alright, and that's here. And let's heal again. Battle magic. Alright, and now... maybe what was also not the best target. Not nice. Alright. Torment. Here. Battle Magic. Fire, Mental Resist 60%. Basilisk 60%. Guanakin King 60%. 60. Ah, nice. Alright, but I need to heal now. Right. Like this. Okay, this is definitely possible. Yeah. But we should like summon our stuff before, because we will not have time to do that in combat. Alright. Ah, they stayed outside. Idiots! Okay. Another fight. Yeah, thanks. Right. Up. Okay. Yeah, that's much better. I mean, obviously it's very dependent on the Mind Steel. If that works right away like this, then we are already off to a very good start. Okay. Yeah, this is a bit annoying with the summons. Drake. Okay, so our summons are gone. Let's create some new ones. Okay, one step and here. One step and here. We haven't done a whole lot so far. Okay. Hey wee! Yeah, we should probably try to kill the basilisk. Or to take it. Like this. Alright. Okay. Over here. Let's use the poison rain here. It might not even affect our construct. It does affect the construct, right? Yeah, that's ugly. Okay. Maybe we can. Yeah, I can at least try. Ugly leaf. Energy on sword. Yeah, we need to heal again. Nice. Yeah, that's a lot of damage. Okay. Can we use... not really. This is now all in range, all of these three big ones. Energy conserved. Unfortunately, they all resisted. Hits all three of them. We need to kill the... Yeah, but we also need to heal, so let's do this first. And then kill the snake, serpent, whatever. Annoying. that's fine. At least the serpent was stunned. Alright, that should hit all. Oh, yeah. That was not a lot of damage. Well, that was quite an interesting fight, though. Good. And yeah, without this skill, which gives me such a big resistance against stun and whatnot, it would have been quite a problem. Nah, wrong weapon. Didn't have that. Alright. Was also close to dying. Very close to dying. Now we might get poisoned again. Oh, you are victorious. The beasts are dead. The gate they emerged from remains open. The exit gate opens as well. The row warriors grant you polite applause. Then they walk off to excitedly discuss what they learned watching you fight. News of your victory will soon spread. Ouch. But at least no additional poison. Alright. We get some... Ah no, they came from the... from this here. Was that the last fight then? Oh. Diamond, diamond, diamond! Scroll of Might. And an Arcanist rune. And my inventory is full again. +4 magical damage. Yeah, we should put that into some weapon then. Alright. I've killed your third pest. The Rokai will hear of it. It was an impressive fight. It will make for quite a tale. You have proved your courage. However, we are now out of beasts. You have closed our arena for a time. I hope you are satisfied with your rewards. I still want to fight. I already told you, we're out of beasts. It will take time to restock them, though it will be quite an amusement for the hunters of the Kranas. We have no animals to fight. He is starting to look slightly nervous. I still haven't fought you. Oh. There's a long, intense silence. Pitmaster Greenwich looks you in the eye. You meet his gaze. You can't imagine what he's thinking. What happened in his life to make him who he is and bring him to this place. You will never understand what possesses him to say, "Alright, I will fight you." He must hate you, but you see no signs of it in his face. The warriors nod at him, honoring him, as he leaves the room to prepare. The arena awaits. Okay, let's just see what this is. Once again, you take your place in this arena. The row warriors gather to watch. There's a long silence. For a moment, you think you will be spared a battle. Then the gate behind you opens. Pitmaster Greenwich, fully armed and armored, enters and takes his place. The gate closes. He fights alone. His historic duel between Haven and the Rokai, between Empire and Deep Truth, begins. 1829 and he is level 24. Alright, alright, alright. And he kicked me to the wall and then killed me. That's nice. But the issue is with that level difference that I will probably also miss with a lot of stuff. And he's just jumping around killing everyone. Yeah, okay, maybe next time. What happens? I still want to fight. Then I will be content. I admit your visit was fascinating, expensive but instructive. We wish you safe travels and just decisions. But we can still use the other one. I mean, I definitely want to do that, but I'm not sure if that's a great thing to do. I mean, right now I can't do it anyways, but it might also be a bit of an asshole move. So maybe I will just fight him and then reload or something, I'm not sure, but right now it's out of the question. So, what's up next? We will, Dead of the Uprising, we will go to Jar Jar Jim, hand in the quest, and then we will go north to Loricon Ruins. Ah no, we will do the White Crypts the next time. That way we get the remaining Quicksilver and then we can build the last apothecary and then we can have another look at the runes, and we can also buy the missing equipment for him. I'm not sure what. I think the staff needs to be replaced or something with the rope. I'm not sure. We also need to sell some stuff. Yeah, lots of little management things to do. But that's then for the next time, and we will get our next Quicksilver. New episodes every couple of days, so make sure to subscribe to the channel if you don't have already. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you again next time. Bye bye. And music by Incompetech, by the way. Bye bye. Bum, bum, bum.